We move on to the second technical session entitled Electrification, Renewables and Green Freight. The session will delve into the key strategies, innovative frameworks and regulatory initiatives driving the transition towards sustainable and energy-efficient railway operations. I would request Mr. Pankaj Agarwal, Zonal Head, East India, Jindal Stainless Limited, a stalwart in low-carbon infrastructure advocacy, to join and moderate the session. However, he would be moderating the session online as due to the last moment, meltdown yesterday, he could not be, he could not travel and be present within us. I hope we have a seamless conversation. Otherwise, we have his questions ready. So either me or one of the speakers would, continue with the questions. Sir, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Wonderful. We can see you. Okay. Joining us in the dais, we have Mr. Asim Kumar Majumdar, PCEE Metro Railway, a seasoned electrical infrastructure professional with deep expertise in traction power systems and clean energy integration in urban rail network. Sir, please. Mr. Kuntal Dasgupta, Chief Business Officer, Texmeco Rail and Engineering Limited, bringing industrial insights into electrified rolling stock design and sustainable rail system solutions. Thank you, sir. Mr. Tapan Kumar Sinha, Chief Electrical Engineer, Eastern Railway, an authority in railway electrification and energy management, driving efforts to shift to green energy and improve efficiency. Thank you, sir. And then we have Mr. Sudeep Haldar, Chief Technical Officer, leading the mobility solutions from Jupiter Wagons Limited. Sir, please. Now I would hand over to the session moderator to continue with the discussion. Thank you, sir. Over to you, Pankaj, sir.
Thank you, Nidhi. First of all, my apologies for not being able to present in person. It's a privilege to moderate this session, and this is a very relevant topic. I think this is the time when the climate resilience and relative topics has not been as much severely or as much deeply being discussed, and so much connection and so much focus is being placed by all across the world on this topic, and railways being one of the pioneers in delivering the outcome by way of electrification, by way of using renewable sources and working on the green freight is the target for the future. That is the topic of our session also, electrification, renewables and green freight, powering India's low carbon rail network. Okay, so initially I would like to spend 2-3 minutes on setting the theme, and thereafter we'll move to the questions, because we see it's the design and creation of the future infrastructure, future set of things, all is being now driven through the basic kind of fundamental of using green technology, green ways of doing things, and sustainable practices. So as a sort of a key initiator of these enablers, like for the companies who are very progressive, they are issuing their task force based nature related financial disclosures, which are in agreement, which are aligned with the IFRS and Kunming Montreal Global Biodiversity model, and as well as India's NBSAP, which is already there for the company like JSL, which is reflecting the corporate governance as well as the nature positive future initiatives being taken. Similarly, the material selection, like materials, have a very important role in guiding the world towards having a sustainable solution for the mobility and particularly the railways. Like, for example, we are seeing a lot of effort being made in sustainability aspect these days, but just to give a comparison, like how little is the effort if we say as a percentage of total energy consumption. As per the latest 2025 report of the Energy Institute Statistical Review, in the year 1995, the total global energy consumption had 76.6% from the fossil fuels. And in the year 2025, we have got 76.4%. So in last 30 years, we could travel only 0.2%. So that is giving us sort of a target that whatever little we are doing is too little and we need to do it much faster and in a much bigger manner to achieve the objective. So we have to see whether India has to lead by example, because we are the opportunity, we are the land of opportunity for the world, and that is why whatever we do must become a leader's perspective, and we should be leading by example instead of following the various other initiatives. Though we can learn from the people who are doing it elsewhere and all parts of the world. Actually, the time has come for innovative as well as collaborative innovations instead of individual innovations, and the competition is no longer a very good word. Now the right word is collaboration and working together. With this note, I now start the conversation, and we have with us very eminent panelists, Mr. Asim Kumar Majumdar. He is the Principal Chief Engineer of Metro Railways, Kolkata. He will be making a presentation on the initiative that they have taken. Then we have Mr. Kuntal Das Gupta. He is Chief Business Officer, Texmaco Rails and Engineering Company. He will be addressing the various initiatives that they have taken in the green freight and what the world is doing and how Texmaco is adapting to the best practices being adopted and what are the new initiatives being taken at their end. Then we have Mr. Tapan Kumar Sinha, Chief Electric Engineer, Electric Energy, Eastern Railway. He will be also speaking on the green initiatives that have been taken in the Eastern Railway. And then we have Mr. Sudeep Haldar, Chief Technical Officer of Jupiter Wagons Limited, one of the leading rolling stock manufacturers in the country, and who have been doing pioneering work in development of new wagons and new materials, and besides diversification into other areas with things. So I would be starting the discussion from Mr. Kuntal Das Gupta, Chief Business Officer, Texmaco. Sir, for you, I would like to understand how green is the Indian Railway. We take that Indian Railway is taking up so much initiative for the green mobility, and we are talking a lot about electrification, as we mentioned in the previous conversation also. The extent of energy being used by Indian Railways is still based on fossil fuels and coal. So how do we want to change it, and how do we want to make the things more greener towards making the railways more green in the coming future?
Thank you for your question, and it's very relevant. A few things before I come to this particular point. At the last panel, there was a very good point raised at the last is we are shifting the goalpost. Railway, no doubt, has gone ahead to do the electrification, but rightly so. What's the source? Majority of them is still the coal-based energy. So if I have to look at the share, just to give some statistics, still the 50% of the generation capacity is the coal-based, and the rest, biggest is the solar, then comes the nuclear, then the wind and all those things. So still, when we are looking at green initiative, it has to be from the source till the, it's something like a cradle to grave strategy. So there is a portion that is being worked out on the source area, but let me come to the railway side of it. Typically, if I'm looking at movement of goods, railway would contribute somewhere around 20 to 25%, and majority is taken by road is around 60 to 65%. So there is an immense potential from the green initiative perspective to shift from road to rail. And of course, there are other areas as a last mile connectivity, could be waterways or any other areas which could be a green initiative based approach. But when I'm looking at the rail contribution towards the green initiative, they have been doing really great. But when it comes to movement from road to rail, a lot of efforts and approach in their offerings should be done. Meaning, we still are looking at areas which is the bulk transportation, even though the green energy is coming. So we need to look at areas which is application specific or the need of the industry to carry such products. I mean, could be automotive, which is just started, could be two-wheelers, that's also started, could be white goods, could be many other, refrigerated, vans. So there are areas which probably needs to be worked, and that's where the Texmaco is coming in to design application specific as per the market needs. So when that gets implemented, I believe the vision what railway has to move from 20% to 45% in terms of carrying the freight cargo in India would be successful. That's one area of it. The second area is to make the wagon overall lighter in weight. I mean, if you're looking globally, the designs are available, and we have partnered with many leading design design people across the globe, wherein the lightweight wagons or the freight cars could be brought in, which will consume less energy. That's one way of looking at it. The second part of it is, if I'm looking at, let's say, a concept that we are also working on, the Ro-Ro part of it, which could be a combination of, let's say, road versus rail, but then when you look at the economics, the cost also reduces, the energy consumption also reduces to the extent of 30-35%. The energy is even more, it goes up to 50%. So having said that, what happens is, when you talk about Ro-Ro, the entire truck could be the fixed trucks, which comes onto the flatbed container wagons or different specified wagons that we have to design for. It goes from point A to point B, which addresses the traffic congestion, it addresses the fuel consumption, it addresses the cleanliness, it addresses the speed. And if there is an area where the railway network is not there, the last mile connectivity can also get addressed. So when they reach the last point where the railway can come, and from there they roll on and go to the point where they need to deliver. So there are many areas within India which is hard pressed from the last mile connectivity. So such concept could be really great. So that's another area which Texmaco is working on. The third area which probably we are also missing, and there was a gentleman from the port authorities, he was also looking at many areas wherein the green initiative could be addressed. Just to give an example, we got in touch with Kandla Port and just a numbers to empty the vessel which comes in and berth, and then take it to a point where they can store. Could be bulk, could be container, could be anything. In a day, a 40-ton trucks, around 22,000 trucks of such kind keeps working every day. So kind of consumption of fuel is tremendous, and forget about the carbon emission. That goes through the roof. Now, they really don't have a solution, and similar is the condition for any of the ports. Even though if you are looking at the train line coming into a section and then they kind of unload their cargo to a storage point, but that storage point to the ship or vice versa, if 21,000, 22,000 trucks of 40 tonners are commuting, it's a mess, and there's something wrong, and there's a big potential for the savings. And I'm really happy that we have partnered with DP World to bring in a linear propulsion technology which doesn't use the fossil fuels. Of course, the generating source has to be a fossil fuel so far, but then that is where it takes out the entire truck which is plying, and it runs on a principle of existing freight cars, which has to be modified to bring in the linear technology propulsion. And then this runs fully automated, and there is no locomotive, there is no human intervention. and it is completely governed by AI from a safety point of view. So such technologies will really help in overall bringing in the green initiative to the extent that India has a potential to implement. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your intervention. And you mentioned 2-3 major points. One is lighter weight of wagons, then using green fuel, increasing the component of green fuel, and emphasizing on the last mile connectivity in terms of road transport as well as short distance travel between the ports to the transportation from the local hub to the port to and fro. I think in this direction some work has been done by Bombay Port also for a particular area, and that's very encouraging. Thank you for that. And now I come to Mr. Haldar. Sir, you being a pioneer in this industry for very long, but as Mr. Kuntal Das Gupta mentioned about the last mile connectivity and the first mile connectivity. So how do you see to bridge those gaps through some innovative ways of besides RoRo, can we do electrical vehicles for that last mile connectivity and first mile connectivity, and then taking them on a train to the final port of discharge, and then we doing the multimodal logistics by transferring those particular vessels to the ship if also required. So are we working on that, and how do Jupiter is working on green freight initiatives in terms of not only wagons, in terms of other means of mobility also, to sort of emphasize these logistic solutions which are greener for the future?
Thank you, Pankaj. The question is definitely relevant. Let me first tell you what the last session Mr. Sanjeev Garg has correctly mentioned, that we have shifted the energy load just from the railway side to the energy generators, whether it is thermal energy or any other form of energy. So we have not actually done anything. We have just started using the energy, electrical energy, and started considering ourselves green. So we have to clarify and clear out the concept behind how we need to generate energy for our mobility and how green it could be. So how the energy is to be conceived. One is energy is required to move certain amount of goods. Every one of us we know. But how much energy is the right energy or the lowest possible energy? Who can really work and calculate on that? I believe that as industries, we are very less aligned with the academic fraternities, where necessary research has to really take place in order to ensure that what is the barest amount of energy required for movement of 1 ton kilometer. We have so far no researched and established data as regards. So cutting down the energy into the barest minimum is definitely a matter of industry, academia, conjunction and conjunctive effort. So we have to put a point first, drive home, understand and raise the topic categorically. What sort of machines will it be? Even if it is in case of hydrogen mobility, hydrogen locomotives, finally it either uses a chemical process or it is virtually a reaction that happens, and then we generate the heat, and the heat is converted into electricity. Once again, the electricity is stored, and the energy storage system comes back to same lithium-ion-based battery units. I really don't have any clue that whether any of the engineering institutes have ever run a course to really develop hydrogen as a fuel for heavy energy generation. Globally, there are certain trials. I also get the figures that some 70, 77 locomotives are there globally. People are trying to use it, and there is a great air about it. So if we really want the awareness to take place and happen, we must invite our academia and work very closely with them, understanding that how good we convert the chemical energy from hydrogen into usable electrical energy, and how good we store them, how good we use them. Even I have heard in our last session that and the braking power, that is one of the areas where regenerative braking is required. At the moment, we are freely using pneumatic brakes and some cases disc brakes. So the regenerative braking, generating its own energy, these are the things to be looked into. These are once again the areas of deep research and very, very associated activities with the academia superpowers. We must consult them. We are living on the technologies that we either somehow copied or borrowed from the countries who have used them first or used them lavishly or accurately. So these are the areas which should receive more significance. Now I will come to a point where you said about the materials. As a matter of fact, this is where railways is really helpless. And being in the railway fraternity, using a particular steel, virtually the majority of the carbon footprints we inherit from the manufacturer of the steels. So the steel manufacturing process, they will have to confirm and commit themselves into generating steel with the lowest possible carbon footprint, so that the railways inherit wagons, coaches, and its utilities, including tracks, with the lowest carbon footprint. The steel fraternity, which is present in this particular August forum, can as well tell us about their plans from the current carbon footprint in manufacturing a ton of steel, and then what are the targets for them, or how they are working towards improving upon or reducing, so to say, the carbon footprint on manufacturing of steel. Railways are only users. They use energy, whether they generate it or they borrow it from other generating sources. So we have to understand that our scope of improvement is very, 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 very limited. Well, other than railways, as Kuntal has indicated, that there are idle usage of various trucking solutions for movement of goods. Yes, we are very poor in handling, and I think integrated handling systems and solutions will find its own space in the market of mobility in years to come. And we are not far from that days where we will see this. And with this, I thank you, Pankaj. That's what I had in my mind to offer. Over.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for very candid and very thought-provoking insight, because we have been talking so many things, but what actually needs to be done, there is a lot of gap, and those gaps you have brought up very, very well and very, very candidly, which we all need to work on, and we need to actually make it happen instead of a talking point, actually the deliverable, so that the gaps are lesser and there is actually an improvement towards that. And as a corporate, all of us have to work together on adapting more greener energy in our production process as well as in our day-to-day life. Thank you for that, sir. Now I come to Mr. Tapan Kumar Sinha for his views and what has been done in Eastern Railways under his guidance on the green initiatives taken by them to reduce the carbon footprint for the country.
Thank you, sir. Can I present on the
Yes, sir. Yeah, please.
the August gathering? I will be my predecessors have said many things on the global aspect of the energy and how we can save, how we can transform the transportation sectors, how we can use and integrate the rail, road, waterways, so that the minimum energy we can spend for transporting. I will be focusing on the Eastern Railway part. Let me share certain statistics with you. Eastern Railway is having 2023 route kilometer of network and 588 railway stations, dealing nearly 1.14 billion passengers in a year, and also carrying 100 million ton freight per year. Presently, this huge network of track is completely electrified, bearing few sidings, and we are dealing 80% of the traffic on electric traction. As my predecessor has said that electrical energy consumed by the electric trains are shifting scope 1 emission to the scope 2 emission. It is true, but it is inevitable. We should use some energy to move such a huge, gigantic traffic over the railway network. Eastern Railway presently consuming 1286 million unit up to October 2025, contributed by both traction, that means the running the trains, and non-traction, that means supplying electricity to the stations and other establishments. The expected consumption during 2025-26 is 2205 million unit. Besides energy conservation efforts, Eastern Railway has been taking effort to harness green energy, more and more green energy, to offset the scope 2 carbon emission caused by the purchase of electricity from the thermal power plants. Although the electricity we are consuming may be a mix of hydropower and thermal power, we are not sure how much percentage we are purchasing from the thermal power. The harnessing solar power, we have already installed 24.6 megawatt plants over the Eastern Railway network, and expected to generate 23.68 million unit green energy annually. This energy generated is fully utilized by the loads, non-traction loads. For traction front, we are trying to install water-based or land-based power plants, so that it can be directly fed to the OHE and it can be used by the running of the train. Further, we have planned for 10 megawatt solar plants in PPP mode, where the companies will come, install the plants generate solar energy and sell us in at lower price. So that is, and we'll be looking forward that in the years to come, up to 2030, we'll be implementing more and more solar plants through PPP mode. Eastern Railway has a fleet of 478 electric locomotives. Out of that, 473 locomotives, out of 713 locomotives, which are three-phase locomotives. And my previous speaker has told that regenerative braking. So these 478 three-phase locomotives are generating 131 million unit of green energy up to October 25. This is the actual figure we have collected. Similarly, there are EMU rakes. There are 231 rakes. Out of that, 89 rakes are having three-phase technology and also generating 59.83 million units of regenerated energy. Therefore, on green energy front, Eastern Railway had generated 107 million unit of energy up to October 25, comprising of both solar and regenerative braking. This amounts to 10% of the total energy we are being purchased from the different electricity utilities. We have also adopted many other measures by which we can save the energy, like LED, like VLDC fans, star-rated appliances and all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sinha, for your insight. So you majorly focused on practices which are helping in reducing the energy consumption, like regenerative braking, and as well as your plans of working with the private partners for establishing solar plants to further use the green energy for your tractions. Thank you so much, sir. Now I come to Mr. Asim Kumar Mujumdar, Principal Chief Electrical Engineer, Metro Railways, Kolkata, to make his presentation, sir.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Haldar said that Indian Railways are helpless. I will give the presentation to show that we are not helpless. We have a plan at national level, and what through my presentation I will also show what Indian Railways as a under Ministry of Railways has done for not for the only for the nations, for the humanity, and what Metro Railway has done for that. But before claiming Metro Railway's contribution, I will tell you the comparison that when Ram went to Lanka to fight the war with Ravan, then on the sea lot of stones were thrown, the bridges were built, and sands were filled. Then a group of squirrels came there, and with their tails they were moving the sands. Those were put on the boulders. And that work was not required for Ram, but Ram picked up the squirrel and he gave touch his hand on the squirrel, and you will find the three lines on the squirrel. The role of the metro railway in Indian Railways contribution is just like a squirrel that I will show. You see the key statistics of Indian Railways. In 2019, we have energy consumed is 21 billion units. And in 2030, we will consume 72 billion units. In 2019, we have consumed diesel of 2.4 billion liters, and in 2030, we will consume only 0.2 billion liters. And carbon emission by Indian Railways is 23.2 million tons per year, and in 2030, 70 million tons will be generated by Indian Railways, and there is a plan and there is a target which has been declared by Honorable Prime Minister in his speech in 15 August, that all 60 million tons has to be neutralized by Indian Railways by himself. And you see the effects on the blue color are the traction electricity, and the brown color is the non-traction electricity, and the arrow line, the line is of the consumption of diesel. You will find that in 2021, this is a figure, it is not on the paper. You can think what is the effect of using LED lights, 100% LED lights throughout India, what is the importance of a BLDC fan throughout Indian Railways. You can see the impact has been already seen. It has reduced drastically in 2021, not only in traction, also non-traction, in spite of the number of trains increased. Then there are three scopes has been already defined by Indian Railways. Net zero for achieving net zero, direct CAG emissions. Scope 2 is electricity indirectly emissions and other indirect emissions. And you will find the India's commitment as a nation to the world is in 2030, the commitment has been given that we will achieve by this thing on 2030. And what was the national progress in 2020 has been mentioned. Item number one, emission intensity of GDP. If there is a growth of GDP, then there has to be more carbon emissions. But GDP emission intensity per GDP has to be reduced by 33% to 35%, but we have already achieved 28%. To increase the share of non-fossil based energy resources to 40% of installed electric power capacity, we have already achieved 38.5%. And to create an additional cumulative carbon sink for 2.5 to 3 gigaton carbon dioxide emissions, we have achieved, that figure has been still under calculations, but 1,42,684 hectare already has been forested, has been done. And net zero carbon emissions for railways, there are four pillars: shift from diesel to electric, reduce energy consumption, adoption of carbon neutral low carbon resources, and carbon capture or sequencing emissions. And the shift from diesel electric. You can see the green color is the total broad gauge route kilometer and total electrified route kilometer figure, and you can see by 2024 we have already achieved 98% electrifications. That is not, and 45% electrification happened in 5 years. That is a great achievement by Indian Railways. And if you see the graph is showing electrical gross ton kilometer percentage, that is a blue line on the top line, and the bottom line is the diesel percentage used for the carrying the load of the goods train. You will see it is the percentage is reducing. 2020-30 we will achieve 97% by the electric transport goods train and 3% only by the diesel one. And you see the regeneration, it has been told that we are vacuum brake, disc brake. Our majority of the fleet are provided with energy, regenerative energy, and in metro railways also it is not the fact that I will explain later on that there is already this metro railway Kolkata, IIT Kharagpur has a lot of contribution in designing this metro railway Kolkata. So, there is a communication, there is a relationship between the academia with the railways also. You can see that how the regeneration in billion units in loco as well as EMU has happening there. These are the contribution by Indian Railways. And IR plan for thermal and renewable power. By 2030, you can see the graph. The renewable energy graph is the green one. You can see that it is rising. And the thermal one is in the yellow color. It is reducing. And the total, you can see that this graph has been, the trend has been already shown, the past has been already seen. And investment, nothing achievable without investment. These are the investment, planning investment by Indian Railways up to 2030 for the round the clock, RTC means round the clock supply will be there, wind energy and solar standalone energy. These are the cost has been already written in crore, 25,000, total cost is 78,300 crore shall be spent by Indian Railways to become net zero Indian Railways by 2030. This amount of expenditure shall be done by the Indian Railways. Now, these are the Indian Railways. We are the metro railways, tiniest zone of Indian Railways, and we are just a squirrel contribution for the Rams attacking the Ravan. Now you can see that we have a very, scope is very minimal. We cannot put a windmill here. We have a very less scope for providing solar panel, but we have gone to various levels. You will find, I will show you the innovative way to reduce the losses. First, we are the only metro railway in India, the blue line, which has never used a single digiset for even for a 1 second. The credit goes to Calcutta Electrical Supply Corporation, who has never given us a load shedding of even 1 minute. And by that digiset, we are all the metro are coming with digiset, but we have never used any digiset. Now, what we are doing now? Metro Railway Kolkata is the first zone of Indian Railways and first metro railway in India, and probably the first in Calcutta and first in West Bengal shall have battery energy storage system using lithium iron phosphate battery. It will be operated in January 26. It is a pilot project for Indian Railways, and after the success of this project has been already under commissioning, It will be start operation in June. Government of India and Ministry of Railways has already advised all the zonal railways to procure base. And we will not stop here in base. Next step, we are ready for the, after January 2006, we will go to TESS. TESS is a traction energy storage system. What this, you will be surprised to know that Bangladesh Metro operate with TESS. What is TESS? When the train shall start, it shall draw current from the battery, and when the train shall brake, they return back those energy to the battery. We have already, sanction has been already given. We will float a for test. We will not allow for regenerative braking, the energy to be consumed. There should be another train, not only another train nearby, that it is to, one should be accelerating, one should be braking. That condition it can work, but with the application of test, that is not required. The moment energy shall be generated, it shall be absorbed. That we will also do. And this is the glimpse of the base under installation and commissioning. It will be operational in January 2026. Then we are the first Indian Railways and first Indian Metro who has banned stocking of lead acid and nickel cadmium battery. Lead acid battery destroy your lungs, and nickel cadmium battery destroy your nervous system. Nickel cadmium battery is banned throughout the world except in India. They are dumping all nickel cadmium battery from Europe is getting dumped in India, and but we have banned it. What we have shifted to the lithium iron phosphate battery. You can see that there is a two room. One is with a, this one is lead, this is not lead, this is lead acid, but it is a planted battery. It can work up to 15 years. Those planted battery has been replaced by a small, same capacity, by the battery charger size and the battery size is same. You can see that you have not to construct a battery room for there. You can put it in the substation itself at the corner of the substations. We are procuring this battery from, it is coming from Canada, and it is now it is going to be a stock item in Metro Railway. Solar plant, we have a very limited scope, and we have a only 4 megawatt already installed, and our target is the board has already sanctioned. It will be not in a PPP model, it is a CapEx model. We will purchase, install it, and our capacity will be 31 megawatt, and the yearly saving will be of 31 crore, and 51,000 ton per year carbon emission shall be reduced. And this is the replacement of steel third rail by composite aluminum third rail. It is the, this Kolkata Metro Railway was constructed in 1970s. Nobody heard that time that there was a aluminum third rail. Around the world, it was a steel third rail. And we, all the upcoming corridors are coming with aluminum third rail. But the main challenges is the replacement of the existing third rail of the 41-year-old corridor, and already is we will when this aluminum third rail will help us to run train easily at 2.5 minute headway, and we shall be able to run train with 90-second headway also, and calculation show, and the money spent on will be returned back within 5 years, and you can see that the yearly saving shall be 50 crore, subject to the train runs at 2.5 minute headway throughout the 100 kilometer route kilometer, and reducing is 80,000 ton per year. And you can see that Kolkata Metro Railway is already a member of the elite club of London, Moscow, Munich and Istanbul, who has also replaced their steel third rail. They have replaced their steel third rail by shut down the services. But we have not shut down the services even for a second. And you can see that they are showing the V sign. That day that the phase 1 was completed, and all the planning has been done by an Indian, Mr. Sumit Koyal. You can see him. He is the main force behind it. He designed it, and the challenge is that the aluminum third rail height is less, the steel third rail is higher height of rail. You have to keep it at the same level, and you have to work that amount, which because you have to next day you have to start the commercial service. So he has first tried in the yard section, then after that slowly, weekly he did 100 meters, 200 meters, then it has now extended to 1 kilometer, and you have never seen that there was a single minute shutdown of train operations. The credit goes to the 200 laborers, faceless laborers working in our organizations under the contractor. And upgradations of TVS and ECS, this is also everybody here is saying about the carbon dioxide as if it is a giant. But carbon dioxide is our protector. If by all means, by the power of God, if we remove the carbon dioxide from the earth, all will be a dead body. Because carbon dioxide gives a blanket on us. It keeps a warm. But what we are doing for the progress of the humanity, we are creating God has decided a percentage of the carbon dioxide. We are violating that percentage. So it is our responsibility to reduce the percentage. What we have done in this TVS ECS system, TVS is tunnel ventilation system, ECS is environmental control system. The tunnel ventilation you will understand, environmental control is the air conditioning. This area is air conditioned, but our metro is not air conditioned. It is environmental control. Why? We cannot, you can set the temperature of 15 degrees centigrade. But in metro, we cannot set the temperature at 15 degrees centigrade, because if we set the temperature below 28 degrees centigrade in Kolkata, the subsoil temperature of Kolkata shall increase. What is subsoil temperature? Subsoil temperature is the temperature of the soil throughout the year. It varies season to season. Why it is important? The mango, how he knows that the summer has come? I have to blossom, I have to mango. These are sent by he feels that the summer is coming, not by the temperature of the air, by the soil of temperature of the soil.
Sir, can you please wind up soon?
Yearly savings, I have shown.
Yeah.
Regenerative braking, our all 37 rakes have regenerative braking. Use of BLDC fan, I have shown. And removal, this is the most important thing, how we decide. In 1970, in metro relay, you have to use a dry type transformer. There cannot be a oil. So those days, only 11 kV transformer was available, and CSC was giving a supply of 33 kV. What we did, 33 kV was reduced to 11 kV. We make a 11 kV ring throughout the metro railway, and there was a 33 kV ring. Now, the technology has upgraded to the 33 kV transformer is available with dry type transformer. Now we are removing those rings, 11 kV rings. We are removing. All our transformer rectifier shall be of 33 kV by 415, 33 kV by 750. This investment has been done by Indian Railways, and there is also saving by the reduction it.
Sir, can you please wind up?
Or 2-3 slides. Lifts with regenerative brakings we are introducing, and you will find that how much saving is done. Earlier 30 kilowatt, now it is 14 kilowatt. All air conditioning machine has been split AC has been removed. VRF air conditioning is being introduced. Yeah, this is important contribution for the Kolkata, that we consume 18 crore liter of underground water to keep our station at 28 degrees centigrade. 18 crore liter, and the water depletion in the area of the Kolkata where the metro is going is 5% in compared to other area where it is depletion is 2%. There is also a saving. We will remove all the water cooled chiller. We use a air cooled chiller. Within 3 years, all shall be converted to air cooled chiller. So that you will, there is a calculation. Not only to raise this water 18 crore liter, we use 9,000 megawatt hour energy per annum. Those will become zero, and 1,907 ton of carbon dioxide shall not be generated. Summary, this is the last. The total contribution of it appears big, but if the contribution of Indian Railways it is seen, it is a drop in a ocean. Our contribution, Metro Rail Kolkata's contribution for the humanity, that we will all these things. It is not that planning. It has been already established and it is under commissioning. We will remove 1,82,372 metric ton of carbon dioxide and conserve 18 crore liter of water, groundwater annually. We have consumed 40 years, 720 crore liter of groundwater we have already consumed. This is the thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for very candid and fact-driven presentation, which gives a lot of hope in the present scenario, and we sincerely appreciate the efforts taken by Kolkata Metro towards the green initiatives. Thank you everyone for your...
Thank you. That's undoubtedly a lot of information and data and a lot of strategy that we came across. Very, very engaging. But unfortunately, since we are running out of time, sir, we will have to wind this up.
Yes, because we won't be able to take any questions because we have...
Yes, can we just take one question? And if you have, otherwise we can just wind this up. Or you can take this up separately with the speakers offline, okay? Thank you. Quickly, we would now extend our respect through the felicitation of the dignitaries. May I request Sanjeev Garg, sir, to please do the honor. Mr. Kuntal Das Gupta. Thank you, sir, for your presence. Mr. Asim Kumar Majumdar. Thank you, sir, so much for the insights. We're really grateful for your contribution today. Thank you. Mr. Tapan Kumar Sinha. Mr. Sudeep Haldar. And we would have a quick group photograph after this. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, all the speakers. Thank you so much.